Okay. That's it. Done.
Okay. Okay. It's recording now.
Hmm.
So, the topic of today's talk is feel better, live healthy. Um, Mostly, I will speak in English because there are a few non Gujarati people also that are listening. So, fortunately, we have a lot of food, but we do not know how to eat and when to eat. um, the world is finally realizing that there is some connection between um, how we eat and how healthy we are. So all the headquarter of all the ailments that we have, all the diseases that we have is our stomach. And fasting is really a tough sell. It is very difficult to get into someone's brain and tell them to do something that they have, contrary to do something that they have been doing for all these years. When I was
एक
when I
minute.
was working at Nova, there was a hygienist that worked with me, and she was Russian. And probably it was pollution, and I was fasting, and we got into talking. And I said, "Okay, I'm fasting because I'm Jain, but why are you fasting?" Because she said she fasts for 5 days every so often. So then she started to explain to me the whole logic behind fasting. She gave me a couple of books, Fundamentals of Fasting, Benefits of Fasting, to read. And I was shocked that there is a world beyond Jains also that believes in something like that. And then she explained to me the whole philosophy of how fasting works. And she said she has too many cancers and diseases in her family. Her parents suffer, her grandparents have suffered, and that's why, as a preventive measure, she does the 5 day fast every so often. And she was so skinny and so petite, and I was surprised that she could pull through it. So if she can pull through it, we can definitely pull through it. So, fasting prevents diseases, cleanses the digestive system, helps in preventing obesity related cancers like breast cancer and colorectal cancers. It increases brain function and cognitive skills. Your blood pressure goes down, your cholesterol goes down, your inflammation goes down, type 2 diabetes is reversed. There are no aches and pains. The growth hormone goes up, so the whole energy level of your body increases. And I have, through my fasting over the years, have experienced so many of these things. But this last year of Versitup was just so magical. Like, I can't even tell you how well and how good I felt about doing it. So, fasting basically, when you eat your food, um, your pancreas secretes insulin to digest your food, and whatever is in your food is stored as energy, as glucose in your liver, and then in your bloodstream and in your muscles. And I won't get too technical, but after there is too much of it, then it becomes fat and it's stored as fat. So when we start to fast, the 5 day, 8 day, now they are telling you to fast for 10 days. So what happens is, in the first 2 days, all this glucose that is stored is mobilized and used up as energy. So I'm talking about water only fast, okay? So if you're doing only water fast, this is what happens for the first 2 days. Then the third day, the fourth day, ketosis, which is burning up of your fat, the triglycerides, that kicks in. So that goes on for 2 days. Then your body has practically nothing else to burn. Say you are a lean person, or you don't have much more fat to burn. The body goes into autophagy. Autophagy is a process where your all the dead cells in your body, like cancer, we know that cancer happens because cell degeneration. Cell takes up a abnormal form of growth. So in autophagy, all these bad cells, dead cells, whatever is not good in your body starts to burn. Your body starts to use up all that to generate energy. So basically, all this happens within 8 days or so, and minimum one should fast if you're doing a water fast for 8 days. Now the recent talks are saying 10 days. So many people are not able to do this. Third day is the hardest cell, kind of. Most people after 3 days they kind of go back and start to eat. They don't have enough willpower or enough energy to sustain. But after the fifth day, and I can tell you this with experience, your energy goes up. After the fifth day, you don't even feel like you need food. You're running like a horse. You don't need any food, and it gets easier. So sustaining the first few days, the 3 days, is hard, and if one can do that, then it gets easier. And what I have read is, like, if you do this 8 days in a year, you can stay pretty much cancer free that particular year. Every year subsequently, if you're fasting like that, you can stay cancer free. Now, because the Western world cannot fast like that, we have it in our brains that we are Jains, and we know that this is how we fast, and the Western world doesn't know. It's very hard for them to fast, and because of that, there are no studies done. People are not hooked up to monitors to study whether what's happening in their bodies. So it's very difficult for our young generation to believe that this is true. But if you have faith, like we have faith in our said, okay, I have to experiment on my own as to what is happening. And I was lucky enough to get a couple of blood tests in between to see what's happening in my body. Because after fasting for 8 days, one time I had gone for my blood work, and I did not see any change in my cholesterol levels or anything. It was not so beneficial. So what happened during the Varshitab is that I ate for one day. I probably ate, I would say, not enough for 2 days, but 1.5 days, I would say, or more. I don't know. But I ate everything. I mean, only healthy stuff went in my stomach because there was no room in my stomach to put anything. So I had to make sure I put everything healthy. I was losing weight so quickly. It was kind of scary. So after eating for one day, I ate 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There was a gap of almost 35, 36 hours to 40 hours, depending on the timings of sunset and sunrise, and following all those principles. What happened was that gap allowed my body to burn off everything. So what the all the chatter is about intermittent fasting, I think that works. So intermittent fasting, if you can do, like, of course there are not many people can do 40 hours, so they are saying 18/6 or however long you can pull it. So if you have any desire to get yourself into that state, start by, say, skipping one meal or increasing the duration between two meals. Say you have had breakfast, and see how far you can stretch your lunch to, or how far you can stretch your dinner to. Maybe after that you can go to 2 meals a day. Maybe after that you can go to one meal a day. So that is how you would train your body to go into that state. And don't don't eat if you're not hungry. Sometimes we are just hungry for water and we just put food in our mouth. Our body does not need that much food. If we look at the olden days of hunters and warriors, they just hunt only when they are hungry, and they eat the kill and then they walk away. They just do not even hunt for another 2 days. Same with animals. It's just us human beings. We have so much choice. We want to eat this, we want to eat that. We have choice of cuisines, Chinese, Mexican, Indian. God knows how many dishes have been invented to satisfy our senses and palate. But all in all, it's not good or healthy for our body. If we see at our grandparents and forefathers and how simple they used to eat, like if you just think of it, yes, we do not know how or what causes they died of because there are no records, but most of them died either of tuberculosis or plague or natural causes. We did not know cancer or heart disease or anything at that point. So eating smart, eating like say, if you consciously look at your food, you should be able to identify the ingredients of your food. Like I'll give you one example: how we make pav bhaji, how we mash up all the vegetables. We do not see. What does that mean? That means that you have overcooked your food, so that it's not even visible. So make foods that you can identify on your plate. Make foods that have extra water in it, not too much flour and grains, but fruits and veggies that have so much water in it, and train yourself to eat less. Our grandchildren someday are going to curse us because if you are savvy and reading around, there's not going to be enough water on the planet. There is not going to be enough food on the planet because we are overusing everything. We are abusing the system so much. So please become conscious how we waste our water, how we waste our food. So but basically being conscious. And also lately I have been following some dietitians, and years ago I think maybe 15 years ago, Ruchuta Devekar, a lot of you may have heard her name. She's the dietitian of the rich and famous in India. She came out with a few books, and I read her books, and I was following her. She was very convincing in her arguments about how to eat food and how it gets assimilated in your body. But yes, I was keeping my weight down, but not my cholesterol levels, or nothing was really budging. Weight was, yes, staying in control and stable kind of. So after 15 years, fast forward, and today I'm listening to a lot of dietitians, and it seems like everybody has their own theory, and the theories have changed. They are saying to eat your meals together, kind of your fruits and your sweets, like how in our Gujarati culture we serve our desserts with our meals, which is again, what goes around comes around kind of is becoming the trend now. They're telling you to eat your dessert and your fruit with your meal and not separately, as that causes a glucose spike in your body also. So basically, for everyone to understand, this little process is that everything is related to glucose. That's why after our 50s and 60s, everybody starts to get type 2 diabetes, because we have abused our body so much by eating so frequently, that our cells get insensitive to the insulin. It doesn't work anymore. So when it doesn't work, then that's when you develop type 2 diabetes. So eating infrequently helps. Basically, yes, eating in moderation, of eating more fiber, and also about, I would mention about the low fat. Everybody wants to buy low fat, thinking that that is good. That is not good, because it has been processed to make it low fat. If you eat less but you eat full fat, then it is its original form of food. I would give two examples. One is milk and one is butter. Can't believe it's butter or whatever, margarine or whatever alternatives we have. They are not good for you. You eat real butter, eat less. You drink full fat milk, but if you want to drink less, but buying low fat it means that that substance has been processed and it takes away the nutrition of that substance. So in a nutshell, basically, um, our 8 day fasting is good and it works, and everybody should start practicing. Paryushan is round the corner now, so start skipping one meal, at least start going from 3 meals to 2 meals, or like whatever little you can do. Your body will really feel good. I would say that body feels light and more energetic. Not eating food is more energy. We have a reverse brain thinking that, okay, I haven't eaten, I have no energy, I can't do anything. Some people even are so addicted to caffeine, like tea and coffee. Okay, so in Jainism, fasting does not always mean giving up food. It means giving up something that you adore, that you love. So somebody who is so addicted to tea or coffee, or cannot live without tea or coffee, can just do a tea fast. Okay, tomorrow I'm not going to drink tea. That's all. And that's how you train your body gradually. And I'm telling you. And also, I have learned a different way of making tea, where you don't boil the tea leaves. You boil everything else you want to, and then you add your tea leaves off the stove. They say boiling tea leaves kind of makes bad properties of tea come out. So there are so many things, combinations, like some WhatsApp had come where you don't mix urad dal and yogurt. You don't mix papaya and milk. You don't mix what you call it, dairy and onions, or dairy and protein. So there are so many such combinations. If you I am in the process of collecting all these things, because right now I don't know what happens if you do that. So I need to know the reason. So I'm trying to collect all this information and putting it together, so we can talk about it sometime. Some of us have also gotten into cooking with olive oil, and olive oil is not stable at high temperature. Most of our cooking is done where we do tadka, and olive oil is not stable. So yes, it's good for your salads and your cold stuff, but it is not good for cooking. So knowing the good and bad, fried stuff obviously is not good. As much as you can not fry is better for you. So so in a nutshell, when we do the 8 day fasting, the first 2 days are glucose burns, the next 2 days are fat burns, then are all the dead cells, all the bad cells in the body burns. So basically the body gets healthy. It So it's called autophagy, and autophagy has an advantage of keeping you healthy. It's a natural process of killing off, eating up, or cleaning out all bad cell matter that builds up in your body. It's an important system for starving off many diseases, including preventing cancer development. So, initial stages when cancer is developing, all the cells can get eaten up. So, when there is no autophagy, right, like when we are not fasting, what happens is it leads to accelerated cell aging, which explains why in numerous studies on lab animals, from single cells to mice to monkeys, restricting their calorie intake significantly increased their lifespan, even when that restriction was occasional, once in a while. So, aging also is reversed by fasting. It also helps with the development and retention of lean muscle induced through, I mean, all this is getting too technical for you guys. So Alzheimer's and Parkinson's also. Practically, I can tell you all diseases. So basically, if we trust in the words of what God said so many years without any experiments, this is beneficial. But our love for food is so great that we are not believing that as much, and drifting away. But I would suggest, I have experienced this, and I 100% I can endorse it. But The other thing is that the speakers who have written these books and done these talks on YouTube, etc., they do not know about Jainism and our culture of fasting or this thing. So we under Bindesh, by under the platform of Jaina, we need to do some research where they or our students who need service hours can collect data on all the Jains across USA who are doing this and collecting data from them, uh, and compiling something that this would make sense, kind of, because they need people to hook up to prove the research. Right now they are not able to do research on live bodies. They're pretty much doing research on animals. So that needs to be done, and I think that's what I'm going to push for going forward, to do this research. And in our temple also, I would suggest that we encourage people, and I mean, collectively all of us can get together and make a day. Okay, today is Atham or today is Paki, let's all collectively do Ekasna or Vyasna or something, which will motivate everybody to join and do such things. I had um, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is my blood work for the last 5 years. And basically, the last two ones are the one from when I was doing Varshitab. My first blood work was in November, and then I got done one right after my fasting was over in May. So you can see all my numbers practically, except for one maybe. Everything got better. Everything got better. And I ate all the fruits I wanted to, all the sweets I wanted to. I ate to my heart's content. So summarizing on this, I would say that pretty much you can eat what you like, but the intermittent, the duration between your food is what works. Is my conclusion from this, that my fasting was almost 38, 40 hours in between my meals, and that is what could have worked in this situation. I mean, we don't have any proof or any experiment or anything, but we can only experiment on ourselves at this point, as we have limitations. So this is what really motivated me. So after I finished my fasting, okay, so now I want to sustain this. I really got used to my low weight, body weight, and I was happy. I felt I so energetic that I want to continue like this, but uh, I cannot sustain the fasting due to travel and social commitments and all that. So I have continued to eat 3 meals at least: breakfast, lunch, dinner. I try to stretch my lunch away as much as I can from my breakfast, and my breakfast away as much as I can. So I'm trying to do that. I don't know how, it's only been a month now, so I don't know how long I will be able to sustain it. But yes, I will get back to you and tell you my results maybe in 6 months or so. But anything, we can open up the floor now for discussion, and anybody has any questions. I mean, not not much technical, because since I said there is no research, but I can still, we can all collectively help each other maybe.
Can
So,
I ask?
Rashmiben, I have a question. You did not address the exercising with your fasting.
Okay, yeah, good question. So what was happening, like first 6 months, I usually go for a walk in the morning. I walk about 3 miles, and then I come home and I do my yoga, which goes on for like hour and a quarter. So that's my daily routine, and I continued doing that for the first 6 months. But the way I was losing my weight kind of got a little scary for me, as to because it was unknown to me what can happen in the duration of this thing is so long. So then I did alternate day. On my fasting day, I would go for a walk. On no, sorry, on my eating day, I would go for a walk. On my fasting day, I would do yoga. So then the next 6 months, I continued that, and I religiously continued that. That made me feel so good. I can't even tell you. If one day, I would try to rest one day a week, depending on what social something I have to go to and I don't have time that day or whatever. But like, if you wake up in the morning and you're just feeling a little lazy, or you're feeling a little sick or under the weather or something, the minute you do your exercise, you feel so good. I can't even vouch enough for that. So that is my routine basically. And I haven't picked up my walks outside. I picked up my yoga back again, but I have to start walking now. The time change has kind of messed up my wake up schedule. So uh, hopefully tomorrow will be the day when I start walking again.
Very nice. Thank you, Rashmi.
Hello. Can I ask you what is the duration of a fasting, one fast?
So
4 hours,
according
10
to
hours,
Jainism,
15 hours, 20 hours, how much you count generally?
in Jainism, we count 36 hours as one fast because we go an hour before sundown and an hour after sunrise. So that is the duration. Now, yes, this is the thing. Like in Jainism, we have believed all these and we are following all this, but in Vaishnavas, this is not followed and all that. So um, basically, I think we don't have any research on this, but this works and this is the way to do it. I was listening to one Sadhviji and she said nowhere in Jainism has been written that you can't eat onions or potatoes or whatnot. There is no agam or no nothing that says that. But why do we not eat it? Because we believe in ahimsa at the tops. Anything that has more bacteria, more live food, we do not eat. That's why we do not eat. She said in North India, when they go, even in Upashraya and all that stuff, they still cook all those things because those are available. Other things are not available, whatever. So basically, our our belief is based on the belief of Vinay, that we respect another living being. We do not want to damage, kill another living being for our survival. So we ahimsa is at the top in Jainism, basically. You can eat anything you want in moderation.
What is intermittent
Thank
fasting?
you.
Intermittent fasting, as they say now, basically, as I understand, is duration of fast. Say basically 18:6. If I give you that number, means you're fasting for 18 hours, you're eating in a 6 hour period window. Whatever meals you want to eat, and say if you are doing it for weight loss, then you are reducing your portions, you eat less. But if you're not doing it for weight loss and you're doing it for health, then you can eat as much as you normally eat. Whatever calorie intake, say you are on a 2000 calorie or 3000. I mean, I've never in my life counted calories, but that's how they are doing it. You eat in that 6 hour window. So some people do 16 hours and 8 hours, 15 hours, whatever, how much ever you can stretch between your last meal and your next meal. Say last meal was your dinner, today's meal is your breakfast. If you can stretch that time 15, 16, 17, as many hours as you can, that's beneficial for you.
Is it, did you weigh yourself after the fasting? After not fasting for 1 month, does it make any reactions on changing in your blood or any weight loss or weight gain, or you change your pattern of eating?
Are you saying for the Versitap or normally?
Versitap, after the Versitap.
After the Versitap, from day 1 to 12 months, I had lost almost 25 pounds of weight in spite of I mean, yes, I've eaten only for 6 months and I ate whatever I wanted to eat and as much as I could eat. And I think you missed it, but I showed my blood work. My blood work was all positive and good, which was a very, very motivating factor because I got my blood work done in 6 months in November because I started fasting in May, and this blood work was done in November, and all the numbers were very positive. Even my bone density, which I got after 3 years, I got it in November. There was no significant change in my bone density. My vitamin D had actually gone up in November, and then it has gone down again a little bit. So I'm contributing that to my exercise factor and my uh, so, I mean, I'm consciously taking note of what change happened and how I can rectify it.
Do you
So
have the same, basically same habit of eating at present, or do you change your patterns, or how does it?
now I'm eating every day, but yes, I'm eating only 3 meals. I'm trying to eat only 3 meals and not eating in between. And I'm like trying to drink as much water because during fasting, I was drinking a lot of water because when you feels the feeling of hunger, how do you pacify it? You have to drink water. So got into the habit of drinking too much water, and so if you get hungry, drink water and see if that pacifies it. For another hour, another half an hour, again drink another water, and then if you're still hungry, then eat.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
So I have a comment. Rashmiben, you said there is no research, but the other day I heard two doctors talk, the young generation, that GI just did a study on intermittent fasting. So I haven't looked up myself, but maybe one of you guys can. Um, it is done on intermittent fasting.
Yeah, intermittent fasting research is easy to do, and I'm sure they are doing a lot on it. I was talking about no research on the 8 day water only fast kind of. So basically, the Western people cannot do water only fast. So then there are some leeways. They allow them to drink some bone broth or clear coffee without milk and sugar. Those things are allowed if they cannot do a total water only fast. So because people are not able to do the water only fast or without water, even they are also pushing for no water fast. There is no research on that. Basically intermittent fasting, there's plenty of research, I'm sure, because everybody can do it, or many can do it. And I have seen people say that they eat only one meal a day and they are not hungry even for a second meal or anything. I mean, these are all Western people, so not even Indians. So that's very possible. It's just training your body how to eat and when to eat.
Rashmi, did you take any extra vitamins during your Versita?
So the day I'm eating, I was taking my whatever. Normally, I take a multivitamin, a calcium pill. I'm supposed to take two calcium pills, but I take only one. So yes, during my eating days, my fasting days, no medications on my fasting days.
So Rashmi, not any medication?
No, on my fasting days, no medication. It's not allowed. Shamniji said that's not
Right,
one
yeah.
of our. આપણો પચખાણમાં નથી આવતું કે we can take medication.
Achha,
But
barabar.
what somebody who has high blood pressure,
Okay, so
wouldn't you
Kalpana,
worry about that?
high blood pressure is related to your salt intake. Like I said in this beginning, that fasting helps to lower blood pressure. You're not eating, you're not taking salt.
Correct.
It's automatically controlled. But yes, if someone has some genetic issues in their pipeline in their heart or something, and for that reason they are high blood, I mean, then you should consult your doctor, especially even blood glucose, if you are insulin dependent or all that.
Correct.
I
Okay.
have also, there is an Indian doctor on YouTube. I think he's Gujarati. His name is not coming to me, but he is experimenting, or not, I wouldn't say experimenting, but encouraging his patients to do all these things, like intermittent fasting and all that, and he's monitoring their um, logistics about blood pressure, cholesterol, all that.
Okay.
So I wish
Okay.
if our doctors were so um, interactive with us to help us do this, it would help,
Right. Yes, that would be very
because
nice
some
too.
some people who have severe issues need to be monitored.
Right, correct. One
Yeah.
thing I must say to everybody is what I watch out nowadays is preservatives. Try to avoid things with preservatives. That means frozen foods, canned foods, as much as you can, because lately I've seen the difference when you don't consume that. It does
Yep.
help a lot. And that is again proving eat fresh vegetables and fruits as much as you can. So avoid canned goods and preservatives is my motto nowadays.
I had even read somewhere that canned food, like the cans are made of aluminum,
Yep.
and are our cokes and our drinks, and aluminum leaches into our food, and
Yes,
it's not good for
yes.
you. There's so much knowledge and so much available if we are open to learning, instead of just blindly following or doing what the other person does. If you just think, okay, what am I eating? What am I doing? What's going on in my life? And that's convincing for me. So, what was I saying? Yeah. So then as you are doing it, like you have so much time, you are fasting for one day, so you're so free. I can't even tell you how many discourses I was listening to on YouTube, like five, six, seven. I could not get enough of it. And now it's become such a habit that if I'm not listening to it, I don't feel good. I feel something is missing today in my life. I haven't done something, kind of. And doing that, I mean, I found so many nice speakers also, so young, so knowledgeable, so interesting. I was initially in the beginning, I told you about Om and Naukar. I mean, I learned so many things, silly things, small things, which like when we have scholars and stuff, we probably don't learn all those things, and you feel kind of, oh, you are so involved in this thing and you don't even know this, kind of. But I truly felt very happy about my life and the way it was going. I mean, and I and everything, little bit I learn, I try to give it to my friends also. So I share with my friends, so I feel happy about it. I mean, good books, everything, you feel. And honestly, the universe kind of responds to you if you if you are pure in your heart and your thoughts. I mean, I can't even tell you how much the universe responds to you.
Well, I experience that all the time.
Yeah, I
So,
experienced
I
it
mean,
so much.
that is not new to me. That is the universal law, and it happens that way. So, you know, uh, I see.
So
And
it
then
doesn't have to be that you're religious and then you're doing it. You do something and see
just
where it takes you, I mean.
no, but I mean, see, the purpose in my life is such, different. I do anything, it's because of the purification of my soul, or, it's just to get closer to remove the layers of a lot of different, kashayas on the Atman. So for me, that are the reasons that I do things what I do. And if that is my goal and that helps me, then it is going in a right direction. So if whatever the goal that you had, if you achieve, then it is, a good push to continue something that you really, even a small benchmark or big benchmark, you achieved.
So you may not achieve your goals, and that may even make you more curious to do more about it. If we tell a young person that, okay, if you do this, then this will happen to your soul, that person will not get convinced to do it. It's your own journey, your own
Oh
experience,
yeah, definitely.
wherever it takes you. And not everybody is at that stage of even knowing that there is a soul, or something that is not visible is not acceptable to a lot of people. So if we even leave the soul aside and we just think of our normal day-to-day life and what good it does in that, and if that becomes convincing, it'll push that person a step ahead in their life.
Possibly, possibly, because I think we live at the body level, and that's why we want to do everything to keep this body, in a proper shape and all this. So that
Even
can be definitely convinced.
even ભગવાને પણ કહ્યું છે, take care of your body. If your body is good, then your body is the house of your soul. Then only you'll be able to do something for your soul. So yes, you have to take care of your body.
Yes, that is what basically from what you have said, I'm taking it back home with me is that the conscious awareness of what you are doing and why you are, what you are eating and why you are eating and what you should put. So basically it's what we call in a Shastra, Keshre over prayer. You do what is right for you, not what you like, and that requires a lot of determination. That is where we have to, what you basically talked about all this time, you have talked about what is the right thing to do for the body. You talked about in that perspective. You did not talk about you did what you liked. So that is the biggest, that is the control. That is the mind over matter. That is what Hemant Bhai is asking about. How can we get to the,
It's all a practice. It doesn't come overnight.
but that is comes from when you value something. You have to value something. If you value something, you will be able to do it.
That's
You
I
know?
said, no, it's very difficult to get in a human brain and change it, kind of what you
Yes,
believe.
it's all about your belief system. It's
So
nothing.
when you do an experiment on yourself and it works, then you start believing it. You have to do something, right? And
Right.
and like, if you believe me, I have done it, so I know it works. So believe me and start doing it.
That's true.
Rashmiben, what is the
Very
advantage of being vegetarian?
Satish bhai, what?
What is the advantage of being vegetarian?
Oh my God.
Not.
Okay, so
He's not asking a common way. He is asking in the diet ways, So please understand that.
No.
Okay.
People
No,
like to be vegetarian. That's a good thing. But what's the advantage of being vegetarian?
have
so
you ever?
basically, if we read the literature, our human bodies, they say, was designed to be vegetarian. Our digestive system is not made to digest any hard proteins like meats and stuff. That is how I've understood it. Then we again, on our spiritual beliefs, we again believe that we should kill the lowest form of life, and that's why we eat vegetables. Vegetables also contain a lot of water and natural form of food. It's considered healthy. That's why recently I've also learned that our soil is so depleted in magnesium. A lot of people are being diagnosed with magnesium deficiencies in US. So there's so much intricacies to these things that if you are an avid reader of health and nutrition, you'll find out that so many things are happening around us. But I can tell you, I mean, I grew up eating lots of fruits and vegetables. I mean, I did not eat any of the fried stuff or anything. So, and I feel very strong and hardy. Like I said, a lot of research needs to be done to tell you 100%, okay, what works and what does not work. But we believe these things based on our beliefs.
So maybe Rashmiben, the bigger picture is I'm sure there are a lot of doctors who are researchers in the China, and I'm sure we get many of the subjects involved and do a study within the Jain community and within the Indian community actually. So on this matter. and see how it goes. And that it would be I'm sure someone must be in Jain doctor community must be doing something. Maybe I can find out who is doing a study, and whoever wants to get enrolled, and it would you know involve us, and we'll see where it goes.
To get started, Rupal, I think Jaina had sent a survey of how many people have done Versitaps, and people were supposed to fill up and send. So I'm sure that data should be coming out somewhere in the Jaina newsletter with all the names, so that someone who wants to do research or get started can start by approaching those people and asking them about their blood work, if they did the blood work or whatever, and that, I mean, we can form like a form on the internet as to someone who did something can fill it out and send it back, and something can be started. I think collectively, if we discuss and with a
Uh,
couple of doctors as to and couple of techies also, how we can implement this.
there are a lot of health programs around and I think what we need is specifically for our community. There are plenty of programs, paid programs, that you can join. So what we need is a program where everyone encourages each other. Versitap could be a far-fetched for everyone, but if we have something else in a shorter basis, we start with something short, 16-hour or whatever, and our Jane food and whatever it is, then it's a very broad subject that needs only a researcher can come up with all the parameters. But just going on that, just a thought.
No, that of course that needs to be started. But what I was gearing towards was um, to have all these people who did Versitabs to collect the
Mm-hmm.
data, the health
Okay, that
data.
data. Okay, that study. Okay,
And
okay.
if we get started on that, then Paryushan is too soon coming. So somebody would be doing a Kasnas, Basnas, whatever. So then that can continue into the study, and then we can have some basis to say, okay, what's working, what's not working.
And I would go far as maybe we could start a small study within our Jain community, because going in involving China will take all sorts of, lot of things that need to be discussed and passed in those committees. So instead, we could in our community, we can have like 10 participants and do a pre-fasting on whatever you're going to follow. You can make up a schedule and something like that, and they can do their blood work before, and then maybe we can do like a follow up a certain pattern for a year or so, or 6 months, let's see, 6 months, and then do their blood work and see how it goes. Maybe you can start your own little study in
So, Rupal, because our center is so small and we have so few people, it won't make a dent into the study. Like I was talking to Shamni ji, and she said there were like 15, 20 people in Orlando that did Varshitap. See, so a big community, big numbers would make like a significant change, kind of. So I
Mhm.
mean, if it's done on Jaina platform nationwide, I think Jainism will get a lot of visibility, and people will start to know what Jainism is. Right now, we are. I mean, I also listen to someone that it's us Jains. We don't do enough prachar of our religion or our beliefs or something. So, if it's done at the national level, maybe these speakers that I listen to, they mentioned about Muslims, they mentioned about Jewish people, Catholic people do Lent and this and that, and they had no mention about Jainism or Jains. Whether they know them, they don't know them, I don't know. So
Okay.
that needs to be done.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Let's see what we can do.
So Rashmiben, the doctor you were saying is Praveen Jamnadas, the cardiologist, and
Yeah.
he talks a lot about his fasting on
Yeah.
YouTube. It's really good. He's in Orlando.
Oh, he's in Orlando. I thought he was in UK.
No. He's from Africa, but he's practicing in Orlando.
Yeah, so he does a lot of these things on his patients monitored, kind of. So he's a good person to follow.
His YouTube videos are just amazing. Pradeep Jamnadas, sorry.
ઇવન હમણાં એક મહારાજે પણ કર્યા હતા ને ઘણા બધા લગભગ 250 ઉપવાસ, તો એનું પણ ઘણા લોકો ઇન્ટરવ્યુ લીધું હતું, એનું પણ યુટ્યુબમાં બહુ જ હતું એનો. એનો
પછી
તો
આપણે
એક
ત્યાં
ઇટ્સ
આપણે
નોટ
ત્યાં એક ભાઈ આવેલા ખબર છે વર્ષો પહેલા, જે ખાલી તડકે મૂકેલું પાણી પીતા હતા અને છાશ પીતા હતા ખાલી, HRK કે એવું કંઈક નામ હતું એમનું, and he was able to sustain his body just on water. And yes, you know, like 60% of our energy does come from the sun, air, and
water.
this thing external. 40% comes from food. So there is some science to that also.
Yeah, Rashmi, they are from our family friends. મારી friend ના બનેવી જ છે.
Acha, is he still around?
ખ્યાલ હમણાં મારે વાત નથી થઈ, પણ મારી friend ના જ બનેવી, નણદોયા, sorry, નણદોયા, yeah. ન્યુયોર્ક એ લોકો છે, કનેટિકટ ને ત્યાં એના, but they from Calicut, no, original, yeah.
Yeah, he came from India. I was
yeah, Calicut. અને મારા હેમંતના માસીના friends હતા હતા.
Yeah.
Masi passed away, but we know more little bit about him than, you know, as center ma. Haribhai, yeah.
And the other thing is, like when Sadhu Maharaj and એ લોકો ઉપવાસ કરે, basically એ લોકો સંસારમાં નથી, they are not social beings, they are ascetic beings, they are living their life as sadhus, so they don't mind wasting away their body. We are still living in society, and we still have our attachments, and we cannot afford to waste away our bodies. So that is a difference between them and us. Like, you know, when someone does 2, 3, 400 upvas, they don't mind whatever happens to them. But at the end of what we do, we still want to stay healthy.
That's true.
Yeah, Rashmi, I was listening to the Sadhguru. Sometime I listen. Sadhguru say he always take one meal, 4:30, from so many years. Nick, I'm more healthier. My soul is clean. I'm traveling all around the world. A Western country are spending millions of dollars on research, but we have already this thing. What mahina ma 2 વાર તમારે fasting કરવું. Most of the fruit carry 90% of the water, like you said. Okay, you fruit, that's the water. બાકી bread and bread, pizza, those are મહિના પહેલા બનાવેલા હોય ને એમાં there is nothing there. There is no water at all. At least very well you explained.
Sadhguru also says that Ekadashi is a fast day. He says naturally your body is not hungry that day. So are we listening to our body on a daily basis? You know, like today I went to your house and I had a big meal. Automatically my body is not hungry tomorrow. I mean, I don't feel like eating so much. So are we listening, or just by habit we are just going and eating the same breakfast and the same lunch that we eat every day? So listen to your body. Your body may not be hungry some days.
ને કહેતા હતા તમે હાથથી તમે જમો, you eat. I was reading the article in a Wall Street Journal. ઇન્ડિયામાં certain Bangalore ને ત્યાં છે બધા eat by hand. This is the real test. You feel it કે okay, I'm eating the broccoli છે, આ flower છે, આ cabbage છે. બાકી fork and knife માં you don't know what you are eating. It's just going inside.
Yeah. New York restaurants had started not giving forks and knives, eating their food by hands also. They say there is more taste and more feel to it.
At least you know your hand, you clean it. A fork and knife, you don't know who clean it. You just clean with the tissue paper and give it to you. Here, take this one. But we don't know who used that one even before. So that's interesting, very interesting subject.
Rashmi, on your fasting day, how you were keeping yourself busy?
I told you I was listening to so many satsangs. I can't even tell you.
Right. Yeah. And
so many different people I found, so many satsangs. I mean, I never watched any TV or any serial or anything. My energy to sing and practice music was a little low on my fasting days, so I did not do much of that. Yes, my music kind of suffered a little bit over the year, but it was okay, no regrets. You lose some, you win some. પણ મને હજી પણ લાઈક મને એ આદત પડી ગઈ છે મને રોજ એ સાંભળવાનું આઈ મીન ના સાંભળું તો મને એમ થાય કે આજે કંઈક મિસિંગ છે લાઈફમાં એમ કે આઈ વોન્ટ ટુ લિસન ટુ ઇટ અને આ બધા જ સ્પીકર્સ જે છે એ બધા દે આર સ્પીકિંગ મોર ઓન હાઉ ટુ બેટર આર લાઈફ આર ડે ટુ ડે લાઈવ્સ હાઉ ટુ બિહેવ વિથ our spouses or people we cohabit with. Most of them, nobody is preaching about the soul or you this or that. You know, that is the first step to get to your soul. So they are all teaching us how to live our life in a better way.
Yep.
There's so much to learn, so much to learn. And sometimes I'm so surprised that these people are like, you know, like 1/3 my age, and how do they have so much knowledge? How do they have so much knowledge?
Nothing to do with religion. Religion, I mean, sometimes we believe કે આપણા ધર્મમાં આમ કહે છે, આપણા ધર્મમાં, but what is the reason behind that?
But today, all priests, I mean, everybody you listen to, everybody's telling you how to live your life. And that is the gateway to your soul. That is the gateway to your soul.
રશ્મિ તે ઓલા મહારાજ સાહેબનું જે કીધું હતું ને મને she is good. I hooked on to that.
I mean, I have still not finished listening to all of hers. I listen so many every day, but I haven't. She's so young and so knowledgeable.
Correct. Yeah, she's
so young.
અને કોમલ, you said જમના દાસ, કયું શું કીધું? જમના દાસ,
પ્રદીપ જમના દાસ.
પ્રદીપ જમના. Okay.
પ્રવીણ જમના.
No, Pradeep Jamnadas is right here. I am checking on YouTube. Library man. So.
Yeah, he has a lot of talks on fasting benefits.
Rujuta has a nice one. કે આપણે બહુ બધી આઈટમ ભેગી નહીં કરો, ફ્રૂટ બી તમે ભેગા નહીં કરો. You eat single fruit. એક ત્રણ બધા ભેગા નહીં કરવાના. At the most, બનાના ખાવ તો બનાના જ, એપલ તો એપલ જ, બધા મિક્સ નહીં કરો કે બધા કેમિકલ્સ. then you know I follow Rujuta too. She's good. Yep. Nice talk.
Like a sweet and everything, તેમ કીધું ને કે લગભગ કે lunch or dinner સાથે ખાવાનું.
સાથે ખાવાનું. આપણું ગુજરાતી way of eating is good because if you eat separately, it causes a sugar spike in your body.
સાથે જ ખાવાનું.
Eat with your meal.
Fruit બી સાથે ખાવાનું એમ?
Yeah, see, Rujuta's theory is different again with fruit, but now
correct, yeah.
The new dietitians I've been listening to, they are saying eat your fruit also with your meal.
No soft drink. You are eating pumpkin, take the Coke and Pepsi. Sadhguru said that doesn't work.
That's out.
That's out.
Soft drink has been out for so many years now.
Yeah.
Make your own kada.
Yeah, we go for pizza and okay, give me this one and refill this. No.
So in this thing, Ayurveda also, you know, there are a lot of food combinations that are prohibited. I am in search of a book that gives all these knowledges. So when I go next to India, I'm going to research this subject. But
wrong combination.
Yeah, wrong combinations of food and how they hurt us.
Right.
Is also a big topic right now.
Yep.
Yeah, after Taco Bell, my beans ni સાથે sour cream nakavi doesn't work together. It's the wrong chemistry.
So then again, you know, like the Jain principle of withered, right? So I mean, આપણે માનતા નથી, પણ બધું સાચું જ છે.
સાચું છે.
બધું સાચું જ છે. આપણે follow નથી કરતા. It's very hard, like I said, to get into a human's brain to change something.
Right.
But if you just blindly follow it, you will benefit.
Like you say, most of the health problems start from our stomach. All come from the stomach. What we are putting inside, that bringing all the problem and health issue.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a very interesting subject.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed, and I hope that it works towards bettering everybody's life even a little bit.
Yeah.
So we also need to like start sharing these things. Okay, I did this or I did that, so then other person gets motivated. We also need to start doing more yoga and meditation related activities at the temple. So you know, like everybody's getting old now, and I realize that you know how taxing it is for the surviving spouse to take care of the sick spouse. we all should come together as a community to do better for our health and
So,
share the good things.
is Rupal there? Hi, Rupal, તું છે? નથી.
હેમંતભાઈ do meditation.
Yeah, હું મ્યુટ પર હતી, બોલો.
નહીં, મેં કીધું we just આપણે યોગાની વાત કરતી હતી ને કે રશ્મિ can teach us at the Jain Center. So, you know.
Yeah, we will discuss it. We will discuss it.
I'm going to be in and out a lot, but just make a schedule and then me or Nipa, one of us can definitely fill in.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Rashmi, help everybody to get on the right path with the mental determination, you know, and
willpower.
If we get together and talk about such things, we can motivate each other. But if we don't talk about these things and we talk about food, ne aaj kachori sari bani che, ne aaj samosa saru bani, then we will not be able to.
I like the idea. I like the idea that we do it collectively. Like તમે કહો ને કે જે કોઈ આંબિલ જોડે કર્યા હતા, તો let's do it કે કોને 3 એકટાણા કરવા છે કે 3 બ્યાસણા કરવા છે, like that. And then the accountability, you know, when you do it together.
Achieve the goal.
So let's start with Panki and Atam. Everybody will put, when Atam comes, okay, tomorrow I'm doing Ekasana or Vyasana or Upvas or whatever, in the JCSF, the other WhatsApp group. And let's start with that. And then as Paryushan comes, we'll all be so trained. Paryushan is like 2 months away.
Yeah, August ending. Right, sure.
We'll be trained to do more.
Yep. આ બુધવારે ચાલુ કરો, બુધવારે કે આઠમ છે?
બુધવારે આઠમ છે, મારી ઈચ્છા છે ઉપવાસ કરવાની. So let's start. And Rupal, for people who are so addicted to caffeine, you can do a caffeine fast. You don't have to do the other fast.
And I think more so collectively kariye, so it will remove the fear, and you know, you can use it like a peer pressure in a positive way. Then it's more of a fear than anything else to start anything.
And the best way is
to know other people collectively will do, no, I'm doing this, so apne bhi thodu motivation.
The best thing is કે તમને આવી કઈ weaknesses હોય ને caffeine ની કે કઈ, and if you are a working person and you are afraid કે okay હું કામ નહીં કરી શકું કે whatever, then you know, do that on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Train yourself on weekends, so then by Monday you should be okay.
Yeah.
So okay, Saturday, Sunday I don't feel good, I'll go for a walk or I'll sleep it out, I'll do whatever, but I want to get over this weakness.
Yeah, good point.
Right.
પણ મહિનામાં એક વખત આપણે ચાલુ કરવું જોઈએ, એકટાણા કે ઉપવાસ કે જેને બી કરવા હોય ત્યારે.
એક નહીં, 4 આવે ભારતી, આઠમ પાકી કરે તો 4 આવે.
4 આવે પણ એટલીસ્ટ પહેલેથી એક ચાલુ કરો.
બ્યાસ નું કરો, ત્રાસ નું કરો, I mean whatever little. તમે 3 ટાઈમ ખાઓ ને, કઈ નહીં, 3 ટાઈમ માંથી પછી 2 ટાઈમ આવશો, 2 ટાઈમ માંથી 1 ટાઈમ આવશો.
આઠમ 14 બરાબર છે, પણ those come on weekdays. એટલે to be you know what might work better કે twice 2 Sundays a month આપણે ટેમ્પલ માં કરીએ ને, તો પછી બધા સાથે કરી શકે. I mean,
yeah, I agree with Rupal. અને
કારણ કે
એકલા તો સાથે, right. Yeah.
Right. Let's start
you
something.
You can do 2 groups then.
हाँ तो yeah, even बराबर है. Perfect.
Whoever wants to join whatever group.
That's true.
Rupal, starting with બેસણા તો weekdays માં બેસણા તો તમે કરી શકો એમ, you know, સવારે ચા પાણી પીને જાઓ અને સાંજે 5 વાગે આવીને તમે જમી લ્યો, તો it's probably working, you know.
હા બરાબર છે.
અને કન્ટિન્યુ ન હોય તો weekdays માં એ થઈ શકે.
that is true. અને સમર માં તો થઈ જ શકે.
અને વીકેન્ડ ના કદાચ એમ હોય કે સન્ડે ફેમિલી સાથે ટાઈમ કે કાઈ બી હોય તો I don't know, weekend is like for family કેવી રીતે ચાલતું હોય તો, but it's all up to.
પણ સી રૂપલ, તમે લોકો જ્યારે આંબેલ કરાવતા હતા ને સન્ડે ના, તો કેટલા બધા લોકો
ઘણા બધા હતા. એટલે
કારણ કે સાથે તમે કરો ને
કુકિંગ નો ઇઝ ટેકન ઓવર.
રેકોર્ડિંગ બંધ કર દે.
હા હું કરું.
આ તો પછી બધા પોતપોત